You ever see a story so insane you have to wonder if it's even real life anymore? Because I'm telling you, nobody in our quiet little neighborhood ever imagined our biggest drama would go from arguing about mailbox heights to a full-on assault with military tear gas on a deaf 16-year-old girl. Yeah, you heard that right. That was the morning everything snapped in Willow Creek, and I still get chills remembering it. It started like any other weekend, sun filtering through the trees, coffee brewing the world soft and safe. Leah Carter was out on her porch, curls hiding her face as she drew that old oak across the street, pencil flying across the page. She was born deaf, but her eyes caught details the rest of us missed. Her sketches were her way of shouting back at a world that never listened her voice in graphite and color. Inside, her mom Sarah watched through the kitchen window, heart full, probably thinking about how lucky they were to have found a place like this after years moving with the army. Upstairs, General David Carter, 30 years, 3 wars, every scar earned, was arranging medals in his office, finally retired and trying to learn what peace felt like. 6 months in the Carters still felt like the new family on the block, but they'd picked Willow Creek for its quiet and its supposed sense of community. Too bad nobody warned them about Karen Mitchell. She ran the HOA like her own personal military. Only difference was, her battles were fought with tape measures, fines, and a mouth that never shut up. 5 years as president, nobody crossed Karen unless they wanted a second mortgage paying off ridiculous penalties for unsanctioned flora or a mailbox that leaned too close to the curb. So there's Karen rolling through the neighborhood in her SUV, eyeing lawns, snapping photos, ready to pounce. She spots the Carter mailbox, slams the car to a stop, and stomps up like she owns the sidewalk, clipboard in hand. Sarah steps out, already bracing for it. Karen goes off about the mailbox, 1 inch too close, she says. A $300 fine if they don't fix it by tomorrow. Sarah tries to be reasonable, but Karen's not interested in reason, she's interested in control. But the part that made me sick, Karen spots Leah on the porch and starts in on her. Says Leah makes the neighborhood look bad, like a 16-year-old girl minding her own business could somehow lower the property values just by sitting and sketching. Sarah snaps. Who wouldn't? Tells Karen off, says her daughter's not hurting anybody. Karen's face twists, and that's when things turn from crazy to criminal. She digs into her bag, pulls out a little canister, and without a single second's hesitation, pulls the pin and throws it right at the porch. Tear gas. Actual, honest-to-God, military-grade tear gas. The canister bounces, hissing smoke, and in seconds, Leia's choking, her eyes streaming, unable to breathe or see, panic clawing at her throat. Sarah sprints through the cloud to grab her daughter, both of them coughing, stumbling into the yard. Neighbors freeze at their windows, some film, some shout, nobody quite believing what they're witnessing. Karen stands by her SUV, defiant, yelling something about respecting authority before jumping in her car and peeling out, leaving the Carters doubled over on the lawn. Upstairs, General Carter sees the chaos. That old military reflex kicks in. He's outside shouting orders, hosing down the porch, directing Sarah to get Leah inside. Flush. Her eyes keep her breathing. Within minutes, paramedics arrive, then cops. Neighbors crowd the lawn, and for the first time in ages, Karen looks scared. She's lost control, and she knows it. Sarah and Leah are rushed inside, treated for exposure. Leah signs to her dad. Why did that woman hurt me? I didn't do anything wrong. David signs back. Some people are just cruel, sweetheart, but I'll make sure this never happens again. Most folks would have let the cops handle it, but not General Carter. That night, he's at the kitchen table, legal pad out, mind whirring like he's planning a mission. Step 1, gather intel. He digs up every record he can on Karen, every complaint, every outrageous fine she's levied, finds out half the HOA board or her friends rubber stamping her every move. The canister she used illegal for civilians. This wasn't just a bad day, this was a felony. Step 2, rally the troops. Carter walks the neighborhood door to door, notebook in hand. Mrs. Patel got fined $500 for planting red roses. Mr. Lee almost lost his car for parking overnight while his wife was in the hospital, no less. The Wilson kids had to take down their basketball hoop for noise pollution. Story after story, everyone with a grievance, nobody brave enough to take a stand. Until now. Phase 3, go on the offensive. Carter calls an old Army buddy, Elena Ruiz, now a prosecutor. She's furious promises to bring the full weight of the law down on Karen. At the same time, Carter discovers if 2/3 of homeowners sign a petition, they can dissolve the board and elect new leadership. Suddenly, that old military optimism kicks in. This mission's impossible, sure, but those are the only missions worth taking. Leia, meanwhile, finds her own voice. She starts a blog, Leia's Light, sharing her story and her art, including the ruined sketch pad, tear gas stains, and all. The post goes viral. Disability advocates reach out, news crews show up, the whole country's suddenly tuned into a sleepy neighborhood's battle for its soul. Donations roll in, but Leia directs every penny to help deaf kids in need. That's just who she is. Carter calls a meeting at the library, expecting a handful. Over 60 neighbors show up, stories tumbling out: the roses, the parking, the forced repainting of a house over one shade too dark. The crowd simmers with years of bottled-up anger finally finding its release. When Carter lays out the plan, petition new board, real community, they roar in approval. Even the most timid start collecting signatures. But Karen doesn't go quietly. She sends threats, hires a slick lawyer, spins a story about how she feared for her life, painting Leia and Sarah as the aggressors. At the emergency board meeting, Karen puts on her victim act, crocodile tears and all. Carter stands and lays out the evidence: police report, illegal purchase, witness videos. The room turns on Karen. For the first time, she looks small. Momentum builds. Petition signatures pile up. News spreads of a disabled teen attacked for simply being herself, and even the fence-sitters join the cause. 3 weeks later, Karen's arrested. The courtroom's packed tension like a live wire. Elena Ruiz prosecutes with a fire that's almost personal. Leia takes the stand, signs her story with Sarah interpreting. "I was just drawing," she says. "I wasn't hurting anyone. I think she was afraid of me because I'm different." It's impossible not to tear up. The jury doesn't take long, guilty on all counts. Karen gets 3 years and a mountain of damages, banned for life from HOA office. After that, the transformation is almost immediate. Mrs. Patel becomes president, Mr. Lee vice president. Rules shift from fear to fairness. Neighborhood barbecues, a community garden, fines, slashed laughter, and hope blooming where suspicion used to grow. Leia's mural, a towering oak surrounded by a riot of flowers, goes up at the community center, each brushstroke a little victory. The news covers it, kids play in the sun, neighbors actually talk instead of hiding behind curtains. On the anniversary of the attack, Willow Creek throws its first community day. Food, games, music, and Leia's art on proud display. Scholarships pour in for her, but she only cares about making the world a little better. When General Carter speaks, he says freedom isn't always about fighting wars far away. Sometimes it's about the right to sit on your own porch and just be. That day, as the sun set behind the mural, you could feel it. A neighborhood healed, a family stronger than ever, a bully finally brought down. And somewhere inside you wondered, what would you have done if it were your kid on that porch or your community under siege? So tell me, do you think justice was done, or is there more to fix when it comes to power and fear in our own backyards? Let me know below, because this story is not just about the Carters or Karen, but about all of us.